My dogs, welcome back to another exciting episode of Very Good Cocktails. I'm Alex Vasili, and we are here at our beautiful home, the Gold Diggers Bar in East Hollywood, California. I've got Autumn here reading the comments.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep, hanging. I have Trent is not here today, but I have my friends Ryan and Zoe sitting right here to my left.
Yo.
What's good?
Yeah, you guys can say what up.
What up?
They'll be hanging through the entire experience. Both of them have incredible service history. I guess you could say deep experience when it comes to dealing with people who are awful to serve.
Yeah.
So we'll be having a good time asking them questions and bouncing stuff off, along with a little history on the cocktails as well. And then I've got Mackenzie over here, of course, always making the dreams come true here at the Gold Diggers Bar and Hotel. Before we get into the cocktails, I just want to tell everyone that all the donations for today's class will be benefiting a dear friend of mine. His name is Walter Sanchez. He just recently lost his father 2 weeks ago to COVID-19. Absolutely heartbreaking. He is a world-class individual, and from his stories of his father, it seems like his father was a badass dude. So we are here raising money to help with funeral costs. It's a horrible thing that we have to do, but we are grateful to all of you guys. Any donation helps. If you want to donate directly to the GoFundMe, you can as well. If Constantine is watching, which I'm sure he is, if he can put that link in the bio, that would be great. If not, you can just donate to our Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, whatever, and we will make sure that money gets to Walter. He is a very deserving recipient of this, in my opinion, and we're straying away from the nonprofit this week just because it is a personal thing for me and it hits home. So with that being said, I think we're going to cheers to the Sanchez family with every single cocktail we make tonight, as is tradition. We love cheersing to people here. But without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. Today's cocktails are modern classics. These are very, very hip, very hipster-y cocktails. Some of my favorites to drink, some of my favorites to make. They're all relatively easy as well. These are all shaken and light and refreshing, which is so funny. It's like 90 degrees today in Los Angeles. I'm sorry to everyone across the United States who's suffering from winter, but we're making cold, refreshing cocktails today. And if it's not warm where you are, just pretend it is and get drunk with us. So, all right, let's dive right into it. We're going to start with the classic Aperol Spritz, dude. All my brunch girls say yeah.
Yeah!
Exactly, right? This is one of the easiest cocktails on earth to make. It's like comically easy. I'm going to grab, where's the Aperol? Yeah, cool. We're going to grab Aperol. For those of you guys who don't know anything about Aperol, the easiest way to sell this to a guest, as I say every week, I'm giving you little pointers as if you were a bartender. You can just say this is Campari's younger brother. So if Campari punches in the heavyweight class, Aperol punches in the featherweight. It's a lot easier on the palate. It's less bitter. It's still got that blood orange flavor to it, and it's really, really easy to drink. It's a lot sweeter. But yeah, it's the same company as Campari in that same umbrella. So yeah, that nice bitter orange, just a little bit easier on the palate, and it's like a nice entryway into getting into Campari and bitter Italian aperitifs. So if you've never heard of an Aperol Spritz, I'm so sorry. This is seriously one of my all-time favorites. It's literally a 2-ingredient cocktail. Well, 3 if we count ice. So go ahead and pour 1.5 ounces of Aperol into your glass. I'm using a wine glass. I just like the way it looks in a wine glass. It's traditionally served either in a water goblet or a wine glass because we're going to mix the next ingredient, which is wine. This is Prosecco, and it's a lot of people say, oh, why don't you use champagne? It's better. It's traditionally made with Prosecco, and that's just how it goes. I'm not really sure. I mean, it's Italian. Italians love their own shit.
Italians do it.
Yeah, exactly. This is how Italians do it. So I have a split bottle. This is called a split right here. These are really, really great if you see them at the liquor store. If you don't want to open a whole bottle to make this cocktail, one-off cocktail, these are a really affordable option to do that. We love them. We have them at our house, and you can get really good champagne, like great champagne, for like $9 a split. So if you get shitty, cheap champagne, which is what I pound all the time, you can get... Well, Autumn's laughing at me. What?
Sorry, no, Jess Andrick just said, fun fact, drank an Aperol Spritz in Italy with Corbin. He tasted it and said, I've definitely thrown this up before. Which
Yeah,
is
dude.
like what I was telling
Corbin.
you earlier about
Yeah.
spritzes that get you.
Yeah, dude.
You drink them all day.
Because
All day.
all the ingredients is just all alcohol. There's no prisoners, and it's wine. Imagine drinking like 10 Aperol Spritzes. That's 10 glasses of wine with 10 shots of low alcohol low proof alcohol.
It just goes down like juice.
Yeah, it really does. The next ingredient, I'm just going to throw in a couple larger ice cubes. Here at the bar, we use cold draft. These are sort of like 1 inch by 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inch by 1 inch cubes. I love them. Super easy. And then normally this is garnished with an orange peel. But I didn't bring oranges today, so I'm going to use this grapefruit peel. I honestly think, we can obviously appeal to tradition week after week, and that's totally cool. But I'm also all about using what you have on hand. If you have grapefruits at your house, these are great. Odds are you probably have oranges over grapefruits at your house, but we have grapefruits today. So just a big, long, beautiful peel of grapefruit. You want to get...
Look at that control.
Yeah,
oh my God.
You want to get just the skin, not the flesh of the fruit. It's really easy. It's borderline beginner to, it's best to start with a grapefruit because the rind is so thick. It's forgiving.
Always getting the flesh.
Right. So, quick little expression across the top, and then I'm a big fan of souping up home cocktails because, here I've said it multiple times over the weeks. Is the person who gets the best cocktails from me is myself. Period. I'll put over beautiful cocktails over the bar, but for myself, I'm gonna make sure that everything looks and tastes perfect because I'm a perfectionist. So there you have it. If you didn't buy a split bottle of Prosecco, that means you have a whole open bottle of Prosecco. Feel free to drink the remainder of that with us as we continue on here. So who wants this one?
I do.
Zoe
I'm
wants
just going to
this
go
one.
ahead
Yeah,
and say
right?
it. I do.
There you go. So go ahead and give it a
Ooh.
taste.
Okay.
Tell me what you think. What
Well,
is it?
first, this just on the nose.
Yes.
So refreshing.
Yes.
Actually, I love the grapefruit in it.
Yes!
Yeah, that's fantastic.
You can smell the bitterness, kind of the grapefruit, and then you get the nice balance of blood orange, right?
This just transports me to a patio.
Yes.
A patio setting.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, it's delicious. It's gorgeous.
Right? Pass it on.
It's light, refreshing.
I love the Aperol Spritz. It's a very
poundable.
Like I said, it's very hip right now.
So
And-
poundable.
So poundable, right? As we call them,
That's
patio
a verb.
pounders. Patio pounders for
Patio
sure.
pounders.
Right. A nice Sauvignon Blanc, also a nice patio pounder.
So good.
Right. Salvi B. But there you go. The Aperol Spritz, literally one of the world's easiest cocktails. 2 ingredients. If anyone has any questions on that, feel free to ask away. Before we do that, I'm going to make Walter's favorite cocktail. We asked him, what is your favorite drink? And he said he loves old fashions, which is totally great. Before we do that, though, I'm going to light these candles because I totally forgot to do that.
Got us up in the
Instant
Yeah, dude.
ambiance.
Dude, this is passion setting 5 over here.
Yeah.
Things just got sexy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Constantine says
Here we
hi.
go.
Travis says hi.
Travis!
Your mom says hi.
What up, Mom?
Steven says hi.
Steven.
Steven.
Hey, Steven, dude. Glad you're here, man.
With the Wally.
Let's go,
Steven
dude.
Weidenbauer?
With the walls, yeah.
With walls?
I love it.
Oh, wow.
What's good, Wally?
There we go, guys. The Aperol Spritz, like I said, any questions, we'll remake it if we have to. I'm very down to do that. Just say the word. We've made this a bunch of times on the show before, so I don't have the ingredients just up here, but this is one of the world's easiest cocktails to make. If you have even decent whiskey at home, this is a really easy way to soup it up. The old-fashioned, as we say when building a cocktail, we always want our beginning, middle, and end ready to go. Beginning meaning ingredients, the middle meaning your technique, and the end meaning your glassware. So I've got my glassware ready to go so that once the cocktail is being stirred or shaken, I'm not scrambling looking for glassware. It's a really easy thing you can do at home when making drinks, especially if you're making 2 drinks. You can put, for instance, if Ryan wants a shaken drink and Zoe wants a stirred drink, I can put the glassware out beforehand so that I remember in my drunken stupor what to make for them. So that's one really easy way to do it, but it's also the way bars generally do it as well. A little hack for you there. So, I'm going to make this old-fashioned. This is such a classic cocktail. Like I said, we made it, I think, at least 3 times on the show, just in different variations. We made a Oaxacan old-fashioned, but this one's going to be whiskey. So, we're going to start with Angostura Bitters. For those of you guys who don't know anything about this, bitters, we sort of say, are the salt and pepper of making cocktails. A little bit, they're not enough is not enough, and too much is too much. So if you're making food or whatever and you put too much salt in it, the whole thing is ruined. Similar thing with bitters. This is just going to add a really, really nice aromatic, baking spices note to the cocktail, and I like to start with this in this cocktail. So we're going to do 4 dashes of this. When pouring Angostura Bitters, when training a new bartender, I've seen people kind of like hesitant or be hesitant with the bottle. You want to be strong and confident with this because it doesn't come out of your clothes. at all, and it really won't come out of the guest clothes, and they will not let you forget it. So
I didn't know that.
yeah, because it's a dasher, like hot sauce.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So when pouring this, I like to put I'm right-handed, so I'll put my left hand out to the side and pour it from the side, so that if anything does shoot out, it'll go to the side. So and then go strong and go up and down 4 times. So it'll be 4 dashes technically. So 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. And even then, I'm pretty good at doing this, and I spilled a little bit. So just be extra careful. Like I said, it doesn't come out of your skin. Like this will dye your cuticles bright orange for a couple days. So if it's not coming out of your skin, there's no way in hell it's coming out of your clothes.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Demerara sugar syrup. This is 2 parts Demerara sugar and 1 part water. Demerara is like, of all the private classes I've taught, Demerara sugar and the Demerara syrup I instruct people to get is like the biggest thing that trips people up. This is like sugar in the raw. Turbinado sugar is fine. Obviously, the higher quality sugar you get, the higher quality your syrup will be, but I'm not going to sit there and, I'm not going to go to someone's house, have them make me an old-fashioned and be like, dude, what the hell? The syrup sucks. I'm not going to do that. This is just good sugar. Not brown sugar, not like brown sugar. Brown sugar is just white sugar with molasses added to it. This is a special turbinado sugar that's just a little less refined and not bleached. That's all. And I know I'm going into detail here, but this is what we do on the show so that you can learn a little thing or two for your home cocktails. And then I'm going to add a 1/4 ounce of that. There we go. And then lastly, I'm going to use Knob Creek. As my brother says, I'm taking a swim up Knob Creek tonight. And I'm going to add 2 ounces of this.
Knob Creek is great.
Yeah. Super easy.
Yeah, I totally agree.
What I like about it is that you can find this everywhere in the United States. This is super approachable, really, really easy base level whiskey. This is 100 proof. It's bonded. We can explain bonded when we get to the next cocktail. Cool? So there we go. And now I'm going to stir this cocktail. As I say week after week, James Bond ruined cocktails for everyone when he said shaken, not stirred. I think stirring is a technique that everyone should at least try to master. It's a little more difficult than you think, but it just takes a little bit of practice, and I'll walk you through it right here. So, grab the biggest cubes you can out of your collection of ice, just like that. And once we put the ice in, the timer starts ticking. I could let this sit, I could walk away for like 40 seconds, and the cocktail would be ready. Think of it like simmering a sauce on the stove on low heat. You want to just let it rest. You're not shaking it. You're not aerating it. You're just kind of letting the ice melt really, really slowly. And stirring Stirring exacerbates or accelerates that process. It accelerates that process. So what I'm doing right now is diluting the cocktail really, really slowly and chilling it at the same time. So like I said, the timer has started. What you want to look for, and I say this all the time, is you want this to be glass so that you can, so that just in case you had spaghetti in it or something before, you don't want any off flavors in your cocktail. Alcohol will pull all those bad flavors out of plastic, so you definitely want to be using glass. Pint glass is totally cool. Put your spoon all the way down to the bottom, and as you're stirring it, you want to make sure that your ice is starting to smooth out. So, perfect example, this is like a rough cube. You can see the outside is kind of rough and craggly and scratched and full of little pock marks, and this is smooth and getting clear because that exterior is melting. Cool? All right, we're getting there. The ice is starting to smooth out. The outside of the mixing glass is getting kind of chilled. Almost there. You can smell the cinnamon, the allspice, the baking spice notes from the bitters. And we're about ready. I'm going to use a julep strainer for this. You can totally use a regular Hawthorne strainer, no worries, but a julep strainer is what I'm using. And I'm going to strain this into my glass that I have ready. Essential, that looks right. And then I like my old fashions with a couple ice cubes in them. And then this is a little less done. Violet Hour does this, and I really, really like that they do that. But where is my knife? They express lemon across the top of their old fashions, which I think is to die for as well. So once again, we're cutting just the skin of the lemon. We don't want any lemon juice in this cocktail, and I'm going to just express that across the top. And then if you want to get chefy about it, you can just rub the inside of the glass with said lemon coin, and there you have it, a perfect old, or actually just an old-fashioned. We're not using the word perfect. That is a whole actual series of cocktails, a perfect old-fashioned, right? But there you go, guys. This is Walter's favorite. I'm going to cheers to Walter and his family, the Sanchez family. Here's to you guys. So sorry for your loss, but we're here celebrating a wonderful life. So to you, Walter, if you're watching. I'm not going to drink this, though. Who would like this?
You know you
Yeah, Ryan will drink that for sure.
You got
There you
it.
go.
I'm
So,
learning so much.
if you're an good, I love that. If you're an old-fashioned drinker, when you go to a bar, you're going to want to order, just in terms of practicality, you're going to want to say, I want something spirit-forward or something herbaceous. You could say, I want something spirit-forward and herbaceous, like an old-fashioned. It's a whole subclass, if you will, of stirred tastiness. There we go. That one's for you, Walter. I'll make you 1,000 old-fashions, dude. Next time we hang out, I'm going to make you the entire world when it comes to cocktails, my dog. Okay, so getting back to our modern classics. Are there any questions?
What's your favorite documentary?
My favorite documentary.
Connor Hall wants to know.
Oh, I would say probably Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. One of my absolute favorites.
Historically
the
accurate.
original founding of New Zealand is exactly how that movie.
Really impressive.
The way that Viggo Mortensen in the year 2004 staked his claim on the country of New Zealand.
It's pretty wild.
Or, wait, no. I'm sorry. Connor is looking for a specific answer, and that answer is Roadhouse. Roadhouse is one of my favorite documentaries about mid to late 80s lifestyles in the Midwestern states of America.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I think they show it on the Discovery Channel every now and then. Narrated by
Is it
David
like a
Attenborough.
Bug
and,
City thing, or
No, it's a fact.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all. I'm not here spreading misinformation. Alex Vasili is very good misinformation.
Yeah. Very good fake news.
Exactly. No, Connor, I want to hear what you have to say about that. I'm sure, because Connor, actually, you know what? I just realized what day it was. 2 years ago, I think it was January 19th. 2 years ago was the coldest day on record in Chicago, and it was negative 50.
Oh.
And that's when Connor came to the bar, and we threw that party at Lincoln Station. And Connor showed up and ran around shirtless outside for a couple seconds in negative 50 degrees.
No.
Yeah, he did. He did. He chugged a beer outside, right? Dude, if you're still watching, Connor can confirm it. It was absolutely
Did
out
the
of-
beer
That's
freeze?
wild.
Yeah.
The second
Yeah.
it got
Yeah.
outside.
Dude, we froze a Labatt
like
Blue Light
halfway out the neck
in
of the
like,
beer.
dude, honestly, it was that cold.
I mean, I remember walking down the street, my
could be
tears
a-
would freeze.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really metal.
Yeah, seriously, like, cue up the Slayer. It was hard.
When you're born and raised in California, that doesn't exist.
Right.
The
Me too,
88
friend.
degree day in January.
I was from Austin. It will
Dude.
mystify you.
So
See,
rough.
It's
The
wild.
negative 50-degree day. What is he? Is he responding? Is Connor saying shit?
no? Chris Sanchez says yes. We sat in the bar with 3 coats on.
Yes, that was a thing. And then we had a Mario Kart tournament. And what else? With fabulous prizes. We gave away some spiff bottles of Kettle One, like, botanical. Question.
Ooh.
Constantine also wants to know if you can make a Malort old fashioned. Not
can.
now, but can you?
Can I? Yes. Will I? No.
No.
Oh, God.
You know what? We're actually low on Malort. We're going to need someone else to mail us another bottle. Well, it got taxed that day. That Malort got taxed when we did it a couple weeks ago. We all did so many shots of it. And we had the staff. Mackenzie did her first ever shot of Malort.
Oh, it's
What did you think?
You'll never
It
forget.
was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you're
You'll
in
never
for,
forget.
you know, I like it. And I feel like I'm in the total minority there.
Definitely
I
minority.
know it's polarizing, but what, Autumn, do you like
Autumn
it?
likes it.
Yeah.
I like it too.
Yes, question.
Connor is asking, do you remember what I put in the shot of whiskey?
I don't. I was so drunk, I can't believe I counted the drawer that night. Sorry, Mom. What?
Sorry, he also said my favorite doc is Night at the Roxbury. The
Oh,
story of the Melman
The
brothers.
story of RJ and Jared Melman, of course, dude. I forgot about that, dude. Oh my god, I miss you, Connor. For those of you guys who don't know, Connor Hall is a world-class bartender who worked at Bub City Roadhouse Bar and Grill, downtown Chicago. We would see each other in the locker room, just like laugh our asses off at the antics. Oh no. What now?
Put his testicles in.
Oh, wow. Connor, you put your testicles in a shot glass? I don't remember that at all. I wouldn't allow
Oh
that
my
kind of
God.
tomfoolery in my bar. I swear to God, I would never allow that to happen. At least not in
I
a
think
bar.
Connor's already had a Malort old fashioned, if you get my drift.
I mean, what time is it? Who cares? All right, back to cocktails. We're moving forward here. Okay, we're gonna make for you. This is a very, very old school yet revitalized cocktail. This cocktail is called a Lion's Tail. This is a borderline tiki drink, I would say. I have really enjoyed making these for me and Autumn this week at home. This is a really nice balance of tart and sweet. Zach Marks, if you're watching, I know you would really, really like this one. Fuck your dry January. I don't want to hear anything about it.
Give it up.
Exactly, dude.
We've all given it up.
We watched an attempted coup last week. There's no.
We can only take so much.
There are no rules. Okay, so this is a shaken cocktail. We normally start with a shaken cocktail, but we did a stirred one for Walter. But when we shake a cocktail, the three things we are really focusing on that I want you to take home, if you take away nothing else from these classes, when shaking a cocktail, we are chilling, diluting, and aerating the cocktail. Aerating being probably the most important part, and the difference between your homemade cocktail versus what you're getting at a bar. The bartender at the bar is most definitely shaking harder and longer than you are at home. So whatever you think is super hard and super long is probably not hard enough or long enough when making cocktails at home. Yeah,
Okay.
Stick that in your pipe and
Yikes.
smoke it. Okay. So we have our
So much innuendo.
yeah, indeed.
So little.
We have our, once again, we have our beginning, our middle, and our end. I've got the end right here. I'm going to put this into a coupe glass, but you can totally use a rocks glass, whatever. I've got my shakers right here ready to go, and I have all of my ingredients. So we're going to start, as we do, with the cheapest ingredient every single time. When you start with the cheapest ingredient, in case you screw up the cocktail, you can pour it out, and you won't be mad at yourself for spilling expensive alcohol. So first up, the cheapest ingredient is going to be simple syrup, and I'm going to put 3/4 of an ounce of that into the shaker. Next up is lime juice, 3/4 of an ounce. Yeah, or no, that's lime. Yeah, that's lime. Cool. Wait a minute, hang on. God, I don't even remember. Hang on.
It's citrus.
Lime juice. 3/4 of an ounce. There we go. And then next up, we're going to use, this is called St. Elizabeth's Allspice Dram. You can make this yourself. So yeah, I'm going to get into this really, really quickly here. This is, generally speaking, this is rum where they add a ton of sugar and then they add allspice berries. Allspice berries look like little peppercorns, but they, if you're familiar with allspice, it's a lot like a blend of cinnamon and clove. It's a very unique flavor. If you've never had it, I highly recommend it. It's got like a numbing quality to it as well, much like a peppercorn. This you can make if you have 10 days on your hands. The reason I bought it is because the way I feel about it is if I'm going to make my own allspice dram, I'm going to buy a high quality rum that's going to probably cost more or the same as this bottle, and I'm just going to use it. I would just rather not have to worry about it, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
We thought about the pricing of it all,
Right, exactly.
and it came to about, you could potentially spend more making
Yes.
the product on your own
Right.
than just buying it on the shelf.
And we are all about being cost effective on this show. So this is a brand called St. Elizabeth's Allspice Dram. This bottle is $30 in Los Angeles, so it's probably closer to $8 anywhere else in the world. I'm just kidding. This is like a $20 bottle. But this, there's a better brand called Hamilton's Pimento Dram. If you see that bottle at the store, you should just buy it on principle and then resell it online. It's not like super rare, but it is definitely an allocated product, meaning they only give it to a certain few markets in the United States. This bottle is totally fine. I can smell it from here. It smells amazing. But the Hamilton Pimento Dram is just a little bit higher quality. It's from Jamaica, from the Hampton Estate in Jamaica. And
Does it have
it's great.
pimentos in it?
It's called
Or-
pimento dram because pimento is allspice in Spanish.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. I just bought some pimento cheese the other day.
Oh,
So
sure,
it's fresh
sure.
on my mind.
Absolutely. I remember
I
seeing
had to
that.
inquire.
I remember seeing that for the first time and being very confused. Like, why the hell are you
Totally.
putting
Yeah, I was like, this is
pimento?
gonna be a wild cocktail.
Exactly. So next up, I'm going to only put a 1/4 ounce of this in here. This bottle will live on your shelf for years. I only use it a 1/4 ounce at a time. It is really super concentrated, but it's nice to have around whenever a 90-degree day in January strikes and you want something nice and wintry. Yes, question.
I just have a fun fact.
Oh yeah, hit me with it.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, that is used in a 3 dots and a dash cocktail,
It is.
which we will get to on a tiki day.
We're gonna have a tiki
But the
episode.
bar 3 dots and a dash is named after a cocktail that features this product.
Yes.
If you buy that, then you can
Indeed.
make that cocktail.
Very well said, Autumn. And yes, this flavor profile is one of the main ingredients in a 3 dots and a dash cocktail, which we will make one day, I promise. I know tiki and rum is my expertise for sure, and one day we will cover those things, but it is not this day, to quote Viggo Mortensen. So there we go, guys. I have the other, there we go, lime, simple, allspice. Yep, I haven't put the Angostura in. And then I'm going to use 2 ounces of bonded whiskey. So bonded, meaning 100 proof, meaning made on the premises, distilled, bottled, and aged on Knob Creek's property. That's what bonded means. So it also means it has to be minimum 100 proof or 50% alcohol, so a little bit stronger than normal. And then next up, 2 dashes of Angostura bitters, just like that. Make sure you're not getting it on your clothes. All right, so here we go. Got all of our ingredients in the shaker. Next up, I'm going to ice down the larger tin. And then when we're shaking, I always say you want to listen for the shake rather than watch it. I want it to sound like a maraca. We want that chicka 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 sound instead of the washing machine cycle of ice just lazily rolling around in a shaker. So, just like that. I don't want to hear this. I want to hear this. Okay? Just as you guys can see, there's ice forming on the outside. That's how you know it's done. Also, I can feel it in my hands. It's like burning my hands. It's that cold. I can hear the air trying to escape because the ice acted as like a nice piston driving air into the cocktail, which is why, as we say week after week, I'm going to double strain this cocktail. I left my double strainer at home today, so this belongs to Gold Diggers. This is huge, totally fine. If anything, it's a really great example that you can use like a pasta strainer at home. So there you go, big one, right? And we're gonna double strain this because we don't want all this excess ice in our cocktail. So.
That could have its own TikTok, like that moment when it goes through that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So satisfying.
It is kind of erotic.
It is.
Right?
There's a certain.
There we go.
Je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi, yeah, right? So there we go. One lion's tail. I'm gonna drink this one. And if we shook it correctly, we know because we have this big ice patty in our hands and not in the cocktail. One of the biggest differences from home cocktails and bar cocktails is they are double strained. So you don't have, it's literally called party girl style when you just dump the ice shards in the top.
Is it really?
That is literally as it's known amongst bartenders at least. So
Ooh.
That's like a perfect pour, too.
Yeah, truly.
thank you.
I thought it was coming over the top.
Nah,
No,
I got an eye for it.
He's a professional.
Yeah, but and we can
Don't
also
get it twisted.
indeed we can also see that this cocktail has a really nice sort of sheen of bubbles across the top. Can you see that in the shot? Can you see it, Autumn? Bubbles across the top.
I think so.
Not really.
Well,
You
we
just say
can
white.
see them.
It's just white.
It's what exactly
Yeah.
perfect. There should be a nice foam, and it will last the remainder of the age of the cocktail. Cocktails do have a shelf life once they have been created, so we want those bubbles to be there. Thank you for the donation. I love that. Who's that from? Hey, Mom. Thank you. Hell yeah. Let's go. But this is a lion's tail. This is absolutely one of my favorites. See you, Mackenzie.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Which cocktail do you think has the longest shelf life? Just if we're talking about it.
Ooh, good question.
I'm sure that's. I would think maybe something like an old fashioned or something.
I would say,
Or what would you say?
I would say they're all pretty even, honestly.
Really?
One of the reasons we stir an old fashioned and then add ice to it is so that ice doesn't immediately melt. So I would say something served on the rocks may last a little bit longer. Ooh, that's a good question. I would say maybe like a Sazerac, which is stirred. And
Oh,
then
sure.
stirred up,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
but
totally.
even then, those kind of die quick. Or like I'm thinking of like a gin martini. Those kind of die quickly.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
warm
yeah.
gin sucks.
Totally.
It's a good question. I would say maybe anything on the rocks will probably.
Yeah,
last the
Sazerac would
longest.
be. I feel like that absinthe. I don't know if that kind of like but I mean that's.
Yeah, the
oh,
lemon and
so
absinthe
yummy.
do kind of dissipate.
Yeah.
That's a good question. You know what?
I mean, up definitely, right? No
I'd say-
question. Anything that has ice would just water it down.
Indeed, in terms of actual flavor, but in terms of
Yeah.
enjoying the cocktail.
Oh,
for its
sure.
existence, I don't know if I would want any warm gin. What's
What was the question?
the question? Was what cocktail does have the longest shelf life?
Oh.
Thank you, whoever's donating. Love it.
Connor says a Cosmo.
I would say those have the world's shortest shelf life because they're enjoyed by like suburban moms and they get slammed. You know, a Cosmo.
Longest
Go down.
shelf life for a cocktail, though.
I would love anyone's insight. What does anyone thinks? Or you know what? I know. A tiki drink, like a large format tiki drink, that will last you an evening if made properly.
Correctly.
If made properly and with cubed ice as opposed to crushed ice.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy the
Doesn't
journey
slam.
of an old fashioned, where
Sure.
you know, when like an hour later you still have it,
An
and
hour?
it's and it's watered down.
It's still good.
I mean, to me, honestly, if I'm in the right mindset, anything that's has alcohol and isn't going to taste completely overkill, I'll drink really at any space. You know? Yeah.
I'm with that.
You feel me?
I do. This is a good question, though. It's definitely worth thinking about. I wonder if I wish Ian was here. Ian could definitely like tell us with a fact. We have our friend Ian, one of the best
We'll just
bartenders
throw
I
down
know,
a
who's be like,
fact.
"Oh yeah, no, without a doubt." I was also thinking like a Michelada would last a really
Oh,
long
sure.
time,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
because like
But
Put
what
it on
about the
ice?
carbonation of the? Because that's what got me thinking about it in the first place was carbonation.
Sure.
Right? Because I mean, like you were saying, like the prosecco or champagne would kind of.
I would say
Dino.
thank you for the donation.
Yeah.
I would say maybe Aperol, like an Aperol spritz would last a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they're designed to last a while, and they sure don't when I'm
No, they're
behind
designed
them.
to last about 30 seconds.
They're slammed, gone.
Or in
Okay.
my case, I think like 6 to
That's
7
like
minutes.
8 minutes.
8
yes,
minutes. Let's say
whatever.
10.
That's
And
solid.
feel better about
That's-
it. Yeah.
Hell yeah. We're not counting. It's we're in the midst of the pandemic, guys.
Mm-hmm.
We're not judging each other for how fast we imbibe anything.
No, we
And
can't.
we're in
The
LA.
least of our worries.
Yeah, we're in hot, sunny LA.
We're in Los Angeles.
Okay, so perfect example of what we were just talking about. We'll bring it back here. Is in this time we've been talking, you'll notice the top of this cocktail still looks white, and that is because it is still frothy and bubbly. If you're seeing froth and bubbles, that means the cocktail will taste lighter, which is always what you want. You don't want that syrupy, sort of like grainy tongue or smooth tongue feeling. You just want it to be light and flavorful. And if you made it right, and generally a good sign, this is something I always told myself, is if I made someone a really good daiquiri or something like this, they would generally drink it quickly, and then at the end you have a nice little wash of bubbles in the glass, which means they slammed it, which means they're probably going to get another one, which means more money in your pocket as a bartender, which
Oh,
is always what you want. So, and then no garnish on that. I don't garnish a lion's tail. Call me wrong, call me crazy, don't care. That's
Crazy.
how I like it. All right, next up, gonna make another classic. Doesn't necessarily need to be shaken. However, I like to shake mine because I add a couple extra ingredients. This cocktail is called a Paloma. This is, odds are you might have seen this on a menu somewhere. It's a really friendly, approachable way to drink tequila. And where is, there we go. All right, you know what, I have,
I kind of want to try a sip of that lion's tail.
oh yeah?
Is that cool?
I mean, it's not very COVID safe, I would say.
Oh shit! Oh wait, never mind. I forgot you had to sip
it's,
out of it.
It's
No,
totally
no.
okay. You know
That's
what?
not COVID safe.
I'll make you another one after the class.
No, it's for sure not COVID safe. I wasn't thinking.
It is okay. It's totally understandable. We're in a bar right now, and
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
it's
what?
like-
It feels
it
like
feels
it's
really-
more that setting, and it's really
It's
not.
the first bar I've been in.
what I
I know. It's
exactly.
probably a
March,
year.
yeah.
That's why we love coming here. We're like in our own little
Like, we
vacuum
just-
of
yeah,
time.
Yeah,
and
we
it
space.
could
feels
do
like
this
another
from home.
world.
Yeah, we could do this from home. We definitely could, but we do like doing it here.
The energy
Obviously.
is just great.
Yeah, it's a beautiful space. Obviously, we love our partners here at Gold Diggers
Yeah, y'all come out
in East Hollywood, and
out to
it's
Gold Diggers.
exactly and
When
like
they open up.
yeah, come back.
I was like,
to Gold Diggers when they're
can't
opening
even
up.
plug 'em.
Exactly. Okay, I'm gonna make a Paloma now. This is one of the world's easiest cocktails as well. But you can do really, really minute, small things to step it up. Normally, a Paloma is just a tequila and grapefruit. That's a really basic way of putting it. But I'm going to squeeze with my hands this ruby red grapefruit. If you have white grapefruit, use white grapefruit. White grapefruit is sweeter, a little less bitter. It's not this beautiful red color, but there's just something about it. You can drink it. It almost tastes like yuzu. If you don't know yuzu, that is a Japanese citrus that is to die for. It's generally pretty expensive though, so white grapefruit is a good substitution. Today I'm using ruby reds, and I'm just gonna squeeze. It comes out like water. It's so easy. I'm gonna squeeze 1.5 ounces of this beautiful grapefruit juice into my jigger directly. There you go, just like that. 1.5 ounces. It plays nice. Cool. And I'm going to throw that into the shaker. A couple seeds came in through there, and that's totally fine. I'm going to double strain it anyways. So next up, I'm going to add 1/4 ounce of simple syrup. What? People saying funny stuff?
Kyle Hadley just asked if you're making a Red Bull and vodka tonight.
Oh, a Red Bull vodka. We'll have to save that one for when Kyle comes and visits us live in person. Modern classic, right? The Absolute Pear Red Bull. A true classic.
When I discovered
Red Bull,
I mean, Grey Goose pear and soda.
Oh, sure.
Get out of here.
Dude, when I turned 21, that was like the jam, dude. I'm not above it. I'll drink anything.
What was the first drink you guys remember being served at like a college? Like when I went to Admitted Students Weekend at DePaul, Ruben and Torno
There it is.
gave me, I think it was, and I might be wrong, but I know exactly what it was. It was raspberry Smirnoff vodka with orange juice.
Sure.
And honey, I was like, this is what it is.
You're like,
you
I
know?
like alcohol.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, this isn't so bad.
I would say
I mean,
the first thing
diabetic coma, but
we talked about this recently. We like Stoli blueberry and lemonade. That was kind of our jam.
Half lemonade, half soda.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay.
You did like what
Just
is that?
so it's not so sugary.
Oh, totally.
I'm
That's
all
a
about
figure.
sugar.
A
So
very
Yeah,
cognizant vibe. I was too silly for that.
no, I love it.
Half sugar,
Stoli
too.
blue and lemonade sound. I would drink that, and I still would. Next
that
up in
sounds
this
delicious.
Paloma, though, we put in our simple syrup. We put in our grapefruit juice. I'm gonna add a bar spoon of Campari. Not because I want the flavor of Campari, but because I want that beautiful red color. When I shake this, it's going to be a beautiful bright pink color, which is what I want. And just like I said, a bar spoon is 1/8 ounce. I did a little bit extra. Fine, I like Campari. If you don't like Campari, if you're like sickened by the concept, you can totally skip
Go
that
home.
step.
Yeah,
Go
just
home.
leave.
And then next up, I'm going to be using Espolón Blanco tequila. This stuff is great, relatively inexpensive, and solid, especially for a Blanco tequila.
Oh, yeah, my dad loves that stuff.
Yeah, plays well with others. Cool, 2 ounces, just like that. So I've got my beginning done. I'm about to do the middle, and I have the end ready, as we say every single time, just so I'm not scrambling for glassware, letting the cocktail dilute unnecessarily. Thank you for the donations, guys. I appreciate it. Walter, this is for you, buddy. And next up, I'm going to shake this. I'm not going to shake it super hard. I'm going to do like a light to medium shake on this one, just because I'm going to pour it over ice. Cool? So. Just enough to mix it and combine it. I'm not trying to freeze it and have it hang out like this one, but I've got, you can hear the air bubbles inside. You guys probably can't hear at home. Thank you for the donation. Let's go!
Yes.
The Campari goes tumbling.
It's okay.
Yeah. And then this one, I'm going to double strain into this. This is going to be pretty funny with this big ass strainer, but
You got it.
there you go.
Yeah, baby,
Nice.
you got it.
Oh, look at that bubblegum pink, honey.
Yeah, that's what you want. Cool. And then I'm going to add, let's say 3 or 4 ice cubes. Let's do 4. And then I'm going to top this with a tiny bit of soda water. And you want to talk about a patio pounder? Too easy.
Please.
Right? I'm going to give this a quick, where's my bar spoon? Oh, I'm going to give this a quick up and down just to like kind of integrate all the soda and the like. And then I'm going to cut
Isn't
a
that bubblegum?
coin. Yeah, right?
Big time.
I told you that little bar spoon of Campari makes a big difference. Then I'm going to cut a little circle coin just like that.
I feel like the color of a cocktail is so...
If you're serving it in a clear glass, it matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the funniest things is when working at 3 Dots and a Dash, the cocktails there generally are like a horrible brown or like milky, creamy, like separated
Yeah,
color. So
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
that's why we serve them in ceramic glassware.
For sure.
Here is a Paloma for you, my friends. This is a world-class cocktail. I love these. This is, Autumn, do you want this one?
I'm good.
Or Autumn's got a Diet Coke. You guys
For
want
sure.
this
We
one?
can split it.
You guys can
Yeah,
split
we
this
can
one.
Yeah, why not?
Super light, super easy, low sugar, a little bit of a bitterness from the grapefruit. It's about as bitter as a ruby red grapefruit is, right? Super easy, super
light.
yeah. You can hardly tell there's alcohol.
Can I ask? So,
Yeah.
why do you use the knife sometimes? Is that just to cut coins,
Yeah.
basically, as
Def-
opposed to using the other thing?
Yeah,
the,
so the peeler
Yeah.
or whatever. So there are a couple different garnishes. There's the coin, which is what I just did. There's a peel, which is just a quick line,
Yeah.
and then there's what's called a horse's neck, which is where you, in theory, do the entire fruit. I did a long one earlier. I wouldn't call it
Yeah,
a
that
full
was a scallop.
horse's
Yeah.
neck, but it's a good long
It's
peel.
pretty impressive.
Thank you.
honestly.
Yeah, I knew the guys at 3 Dots, the prep team, could do a line in like 1 second. It was
Jesus.
crazy. Those dudes just like super with like
So
one.
sure. I'd be so
motion.
nervous about getting my own like thumbs or something.
Well,
No.
there's you keep your thumb far away from it. There are techniques.
Yeah.
It takes
for
trial
sure.
and error. I definitely got
Yeah,
myself
for sure.
a couple weeks ago when we were making oleo sacrum at home, which
Drops
is a
of
whole-
blood in the cocktail.
Exactly.
What's oleo
Get a
sacrum?
little extra iron in there.
Oleo sacrum is it's a maceration, so it means fruit or vegetable, generally fruit, covered in sugar to extract all
Oh,
the
yeah.
oil
Yes, I'm yes.
out of it. Thank you for those donations, guys. Means the world. Here we go. Constantine, thank you, dog. Appreciate you, man.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's in a special something that we'll be making, or that we'll be announcing next week.
Oh.
A necessary ingredient, which we will go into much detail.
Mm-hmm.
The surprise is still on. All right, so there we have it, a Paloma. We have made a lion's tail, an Aperol Spritz, a Paloma, and an Old Fashioned. Yes, question.
I just have to share with you that Kyle came up with a drag name for you.
Oh, great. Here we go. Come on,
God.
Kyle, lay it on me.
Patty O'Pounder.
Patio Pounder.
Like Patty.
Oh.
And you're
Patty.
Irish. You're Irish.
Kyle, you're
O'Pounder.
genius. Patty
I love that.
O'Pounder.
That already tells us so much about who she is as a queen. I
Yes.
love it.
She loves the outdoors.
Yeah.
She's Irish.
Outdoorsy.
She loves-
She's
She
Irish.
loves
Irish.
drink. She's an Irish girl.
She's Irish.
She's Irish.
She hates. She's Irish, but she hates St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
You know what I
worst.
mean?
She's
Yeah.
worked it too often.
Yeah, exactly. She's
Yeah.
done too many
She knows
runway
it.
shows. Patty O'Pounder. Thank you so much, Kyle. That is excellent. And I hope you got your sanitizer. We mailed it the other day, so it should be getting to you. We do raffles every now and then of goods and whatnot. So Kyle was the winner and recipient of a set of a mass botanical hand sanitizer, which is
Lit.
luxurious as hell.
That sounds lovely.
It is to die for. Just like our next cocktail.
Boom.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
Hit him with the segue.
This cocktail right here is one of my all-time favorites. It is, how do I say this? This cocktail is good blended. It's good up. You could do it on the rocks if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's good any which way, and it's so easy to remember how to make this because it's the same amount of ingredients or same quantity of all of its 4 ingredients. So, excuse me. This is a perfect example of a cocktail that is truly greater than the sum of its parts, which is what we always want to be looking for. This cocktail is called a paper plane. This is, if I had to give a true definition of a modern classic, I would say it would be this cocktail. Ryan and Zoe were helping me with some research beforehand, as Trent always does, talking about, I don't know who's messaging, I love it.
Sorry, nothing.
No, it's okay. We
Some people.
yeah, some people
Some
just,
people.
just want to give me money and want to figure out how to do it. We were doing a little bit of light research before this class, and we were talking about why is it called the paper plane, and it turns out that it is actually named after the song "Paper Planes" by M.I.A., the artist M.I.A. If you guys haven't heard that song, turn on a radio, give it like an hour and a half, and you'll hear a reference to it. I'm sure.
And
at
it
some
will
point.
never leave your head.
Exactly.
From that point on.
It's an extremely catchy song. I love that tune, honestly. This cocktail was made by the Milk and Honey guys with Toby Maloney, who, if you don't know, Toby is the head bartender at Violet Hour in Chicago, one of my favorite, not just bars, but like places to be in the world. It is definitely a safe, happy place. So I am honored to give credence to this cocktail and make it for you and teach you guys how to make it, because this cocktail hopefully makes it through the annals of history forever. This is just such a good fucking drink. So it's easy to remember, like I said, because it's 3/4 of an ounce of everything across the board. We're going to start with our cheapest ingredient, which is lemon juice in this case. So 3/4 of an ounce into our shaker. Like I said, I've got my beginning, middle, and end ready. I've got my glass ready. I've got my shakers. I have my ingredients. Next up, I'm going to put in Aperol, just because we've already talked about Aperol today. 3/4 of an ounce. This is going to give it a beautiful color, as well as like a distant bitterness or not bitterness, but balance to the sweetness. Mm-hmm. Next up, I'm going to be using the Amaro Nonino. Okay, we haven't used that much Amaro or Amari. Amari is Amaro plural. We haven't used that much Amari on the show. I would love to do a whole episode on it, and if that ever happens, I want Scott from Three Dots to be here. Scott is an incredible bartender and is one of the more unparalleled minds, in my opinion, when it comes to Amari. A very gifted man, and his bar at home is incredible. If you've ever seen a photo of it, it's like, dude, I want my bar to look like that. But this is the Amaro Nonino. So Amaro, Italian spirit, or Italian digestif, if you will. This is a bitter, yet sweet, yet honeyed, yet... there are so many different flavors when it comes to mine, and there's such a broad scale. But in terms of bitterness and intensity, this is one of the lightest Amari, in my opinion. One of the lighter, at least. And you can drink it on its own. We, when going out to eat, like to do Amaro for dessert.
So delicious on its own.
It is.
You know?
It is.
It's fantastic.
You can put it on ice. You can drink it neat. It doesn't really matter. Some people like to put it in espresso, I've heard, which is crazy.
Ooh,
with soda water.
With soda water, yeah, totally. But the Amaro Nonino is a really famous one. This should be readily available at any major liquor store. It's about $50 a bottle. So definitely an investment piece, but if you're making cocktails with it, it will last a very long time, which is what we like. Our bottle at home will probably go quick because we love paper plates, but this is a great bottle to have on the shelf. So 3/4 of an ounce of the Amaro Nonino. There we go. And then 3/4 of an ounce of bonded bourbon, using the Knob Creek again in this case.
The Knob Creek just has such a pretty color to it, too.
Mm-hmm. Nice sort of amber. Mm-hmm. And we want bonded because we want that extra alcoholic kick. We want that extra little burn to cut through the other flavors, because this is a lot of different flavors coming at you. So just looking at this, it's like a nice rosy orange color, if you will. And when we shake it, what we want is we want this layer of bubbles again. And what's going to happen is those bubbles are going to be opaque in the cocktail. And right now I can see straight to the bottom of the shaker. You guys can't see it, but when you're making it at home, you can see straight to the bottom. I don't want to see straight to the bottom. I want this to be an opaque cocktail. So we're going to shake it. Remember, we are diluting, chilling, and most importantly, aerating this drink. When you're shaking at home, like I say, if you take anything from this class, take those 3 things when shaking. And I kid you not, your cocktail game will go through the roof. Cool. Here we go. We want the chicka chicka sound. We don't want the washing machine cycle. There we go. So we know it's done because we can scrape the ice off, feel it under our fingernails. I can hear the air trying to escape, and it's a little bit tougher to open. But it smells incredible, and the top, as you guys can see, it almost looks like an egg white cocktail. You guys see that over there?
Totally,
Right?
yeah, wow.
Right? That's what it should look like, if you guys can see that. And then we're going to double strain as we do all of our shaken cocktails.
Ooh, yeah, I just love that part.
It is pretty fun.
It's very satisfying.
But I can smell it from here. I get like that orange peel from the Aperol.
Wow.
There we go. I get like a distant grapefruit and honey from that Amaro Nonino. And if you haven't at home, it's so funny when I do the private classes and stuff, people will buy Amaro Nonino, they'll buy Chartreuse or Cynar or Luxardo, Maraschino, and they won't try it. They don't like taste it on their own. They wait for the class to taste it, which is totally cool. But like, you should taste everything on its own so that you know what it brings to the picture, right? So, just like I said, I'm like out of breath from shaking. I'm so out of shape. What
You
the hell?
like destroyed that.
Yeah, well,
it was
that's
like very impressive.
That's how it should be.
It was vigorous.
You want
It was
this little-
wild.
you want this ice snowball to be appearing in your cocktail.
It's a snowball of liquor.
Right, which Trent always says he wants to drink it. He's like, I want to drink that. Looks
Put it in
good.
his mouth.
Right, exactly. This
like a
one,
snow cone.
exactly. This one, I don't think there's an official garnish to it, but I'm going to express a little lemon coin across the top.
Do you feel like when in doubt, lemon?
Ah,
Like if you're gonna garnish, because that would be my personal thought, but I'm
yeah.
not established in.
There are some
That's
things. I guess.
I mean, obviously there's some that are gonna go south with that, but I feel like over lime or something else. that
Yeah.
would be
Well,
the-
in terms of ability to get the oil out of the fruit,
oh, sure.
lemon and orange are probably easier than lime for sure. But yeah, I mean, I would say only use lemon if there's lemon in the cocktail.
Okay, cool.
Generally speaking, or only use lime if there's lime in the cocktail. But there you go. Yeah, I'd say depending on the ingredients, generally speaking, lemon. If there's no lemon in the cocktail, then just don't garnish it. If you only have lemons. Question.
Just as an example, when we were talking about the Malort Old Fashioned earlier,
Yes.
which we don't want, but is on the table. That is an example of something that when it first came up, I was thinking like, oh, but would you still use an orange? Would you use a grapefruit? And I was like, you know what, a lemon would be nice with that. So
Sure.
I feel like sometimes if you just kind of consider your options
Yeah.
of what to garnish with and what
For
you
sure.
have on hand,
Definitely.
you'll be like, oh, that
Arrive
makes sense.
at the right choice.
Right.
Yeah, for
right.
sure.
And you know what? It would be good practice. As I say, it's really important to know what you like, but it's also almost just as important to know what you don't like. And as someone, I am not a picky eater or drinker. I think that's one of my superpowers is I'm able to drink or eat anything. It is. I will never judge anyone for not liking something. It's okay to not like something. Don't beat yourself up if you're like, oh, I tried Campari and I don't like it. It's okay. It's an intense flavor, just like black licorice. Some people just don't like it.
It was the best.
Some people
I'm
like it.
obsessed with it.
Yeah, Brian doesn't
Yeah,
love
you
it.
don't
and
like
that's-
it. And it's like
It's
crazy.
okay. It's totally okay. Just know what you like and know what you don't like, and that's okay. Don't beat yourself up for it. There are 1,000 cocktails that you can drink if you don't like Campari. It's all good. So there we go. Paper plane. You guys want? Who wants this one?
Autumn, do you want it? I mean, we will drink
If
it.
no one
but
wants it,
mean,
I will
like-
drink it. But you guys. Can
No.
totally
You,
I
maybe
kind of
you-
want to try it a little
Yeah,
bit.
I
Should
want
we,
to try
should we
it.
split them up?
Maybe
No,
we
let's
like
take it.
just
Take
like.
it. We'll make another one after the class is done. It's all good.
I keep looking at that green chartreuse. You know, when I worked at Henry's, they used green chartreuse all the time, and now I'm trying to remember what we even put it in, and I can't remember.
We haven't played with chartreuse. Just
I mean,
yet.
it's a wild,
It's
a wild
a-
little component.
It can
packs a
definitely
punch.
take a night from 0 to 1,000 if we're talking about
100%.
we're talking about insanity. But yeah, we'll get to it one day. She's eyeing me. She's getting the sniper's nest up there, peering
Yeah,
down
yeah.
the scope.
She's solo in a way.
How's that taste, Ryan?
That's great. It smells so good.
What-
Like citruses.
Oh, the smell is amazing.
What vibes are you, or what flavor profile are you getting it for the viewers?
What do you think, Zoe?
To me, it's making me think of like kind of it's daytime, you're in a really like crisp, sexy interior, drinking something like fabulous like this, and
Yeah.
kind of I don't know, it's giving me honestly it's giving me rich bitch energy.
Oh, okay,
I think
okay.
It's a good combo of like sweet and bitter, kind
Sure,
of. You know?
exactly. That's what
It
the
kind of
Amaro
like
does.
plays around
That's
a little
why-
bit, where you're like, it's really middle of the road, and then it gets a little sweet, and then it hits you kind of at the bitter.
Well, and
or
it's
with
not
the bitter at
overly
the end.
powerful too, where it's nice and delicate, and you can continue sipping it. But I wouldn't say it's a patio pounder. You
No,
still want to
yeah.
savor
No,
it,
no,
you
no.
know.
It's mostly
Totally
alcohol.
different vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's,
sure.
what I like about it is it's like I think of that as like an entry level into more advanced flavors, which is
Yeah.
Yeah.
or
totally.
more extreme flavors, if you will.
That's
Good.
my favorite of what we've tasted today.
Hell yeah.
It's all been delicious, but
We made a
this is
few of
fantastic.
them. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's really good.
We made a few yesterday, and they went down quick. They're so good.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, also
So chill.
make
too.
2 of
I was
those,
gonna say.
throw them in a blender with the same amount of ice you would put in a shaker, and it's over. You'll have you'll have the best
And
blended.
you'll wake up tomorrow.
Yes.
And we'll see
Well,
you next
no,
week.
not even, man. Not even, 3/4 of an ounce of whiskey is not crazy, and these are
Yeah,
two
that's true.
relatively low ABV. So in terms of overall alcoholic content, the Lion's Tail will for sure come and
Yeah,
bite you
that'll get you.
a lot harder than the Paper Plane will, which is one of the reasons.
You should get a picture of all of them placed together because they're all this kind of pinky,
I
sexy
know.
hue.
Well, the problem is that I could do that, but I like drinking them.
Yeah,
and,
no,
and the
for
guests
sure. And we have
like
already.
drinking.
I do as
Exactly.
well.
Yeah, we
Exactly.
ruined that for you.
No
Yeah.
ruining. I'm glad you're enjoying it, guys. Let's see, and that is that. Those are the 4 that we have today. Are there any questions right now? Anything popping up, or anyone saying whatever?
No, Owen says that he likes solo cups full of gin and Ambien.
Oh,
To
Ambien.
which Kyle
Gin-
said, "Sounds delish. Does it have a name?"
What is it?
Big
What's
mistake.
Owen? It's killing me. Gin, Ambien, medicine woman.
We've
What's
been
it?
here before.
I know we've been here before. It was 2 weeks ago. We were trying to remember his nickname. He'll tell us in just a minute what it is. I think
Yeah.
it's Dr. Gin Ambien Medicine Woman.
Gin and
That
Ambien
sounds
could
close.
be called like My Divorce.
Gin.
Or something like
There's like a delay on the filming or whatever. So when he sees this, hopefully, it's gonna kill me. Anyway, thank you to everyone who donated this evening. We're very grateful for you, and I can't wait to give this to Walter. I can think of few more deserving families than the family of Walter Sanchez. He's such a good man and a great trombone player. Every experience I've ever had with that dude. Think in your head of how many people you know that you literally only had extremely positive reactions with. Most of them, in my book, are trombone players, just because I'm biased. But no, honestly though, Walter is a great human being. He's the kind of guy who will hit you up just to see how you're doing on a random day, or like if he sees something awesome that you're doing, he will take the time to reach out to you and say, "Hey, what you're doing is awesome. Keep it up. Like, love you.
That's
if I
so
can help."
rare.
Yeah, it's like
In any field.
It's very
That's so
genuine.
rare.
Very
Yeah.
genuine. So we're doing this one for Walter today. We're super, super grateful to everyone who watched this at home or wherever the hell you are. If you're on a plane, if you're at work or whatever, dreading getting out of work or whatever, we're grateful for you for watching this show. We'll be back next Saturday. Not next Friday, but next Saturday. We'll be doing a fundraiser, which we have yet to announce the beneficiary, but we have a couple in the running. It might rhyme with Clinkin Station. it might rhyme with. It's most likely going to be for the staff of Lincoln Station next week. So next Saturday, we just got to get all this stuff confirmed. But in the meantime, as we say every single week, if you have any questions or if you need a recipe for anything, or more importantly, if you'd like to book a private class with me, all of the information is available at Very Good Cocktails on our Instagram page or at verygoodcocktails@gmail.com. Shoot us a message, shoot us a DM, shoot me a text or a message, whatever. I'm happy to help you. Shoot me a video of you shaking a cocktail and I'll tell you yay or nay. But if you have any questions about any flavors, or if you're at a liquor store and you're scared and you don't know what to buy, you can call me at any time and I'm here to walk you through it. And yeah, we're grateful, like I said, for everyone watching and all of your donations. Thank you to Ryan and Zoe for being our special guests for the day, adding so much love and joy to our show, which we are grateful for. Thank you to Autumn. Autumn's raising her hand, which means there's a question.
No, Owen said that you nailed it. It's Dr. Gin Ambien Medicine Woman.
Yes, Dr. Gin Ambien Medicine Woman, dude. Incredible. If I don't remember that next time, I'm going to be so mad.
That's
but-
featured
Maybe
next
just
week.
keep it on our-
Yeah.
That's what we're making next
Oh
week.
my God, never.
Red
Don't-
Solo Cup.
Yeah, don't mix drugs and alcohol, guys. It's
That's
a
always
bad
a bad
idea.
call.
But yeah, if you have to, just don't tell me about it. But yeah, with that being said, though, we're grateful to everyone for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week. Keep it very good, and I love you all. Cheers.
Be easy.
Press.